You make noise because they change glasses. Hello, my name is Dean Contover. This is Current Buzz. Today we have Max Candidus, and I'm going to tell you about why we have him here. He's a guest. He lives in Littleton, Massachusetts now, and he has a business, a new business in Chelmsford, Mass, and it's called Max and Leo's Artisan Pizza. And this is from the Lowell Sun. I cut it out, believe it or not. The article was October 27th. He finally opened his pizza place, Artisan Pizza, specifically December 30th, right?
Correct.
And it's a slow start, or people coming to the
Well, we didn't
restaurant?
do any advertising, but word got out quickly, and it's been overwhelmingly busy. Let's
Good.
put it that way.
That's good. That's good.
The whole town seems to have come out to support us, which is great.
That's super. You were talking to a police officer. He said it was long overdue that we needed something like that. They serve pizza. It's fresh pizza. There's no refrigeration, so they don't keep it in the refrigerator.
No freezer. We have refrigeration. No freezer.
Oh, no freezer.
Yeah.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, no freezer.
Yep.
You have refrigeration, but there's no freezer.
Correct.
Okay. And everything is made.
We're a scratch kitchen. Everything, salad dressings, everything's made in-house. Dough, sauce,
The dough and everything like
everything.
that. That's why it's so fresh, man.
Yeah.
I went there with my daughter, and she picked out the pizza, and she.
What pizza did you have?
Oh God, you had to ask me that. I'd have to go, and it had some. I'd have to look.
You tell me what's on it, and I'll tell you what it is.
All I know, there were greens on it.
So it could have been a Marley then. Is it arugula on top?
I think it was rubella. Yeah, it was arugula.
Arugula.
Arugula. Yeah. Arugula.
So that could be a Marley.
Okay, that was probably
Some
a
shaved
Marley.
parm and a balsamic drizzle on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was tasty.
Yeah.
And I took a piece home, and I'll tell you what happened. After that, I took the piece home, put it in the refrigerator. The next day I had it. It tasted just as fresh the next day as it did at the restaurant. So you're doing something good.
Yeah, things always taste better the next day. People just don't realize that.
That's funny you say that. So, yeah, sometimes that's true. Sometimes that's true. So it's a new restaurant in Chelmsford, right? This is your fourth restaurant.
Correct.
Right? You have one at Fenway. Where at Fenway?
We're upstairs of Game On. It's a partnership with the Lions Group that owns Game On, and they wanted to put a better food aspect in there, so they called. Patrick called me, and he's a great guy, and the Lions Group is awesome, so we worked out a deal that worked for them and us, and we went upstairs and Game On.
Was that the first one?
That was the second one.
The second one.
Yep.
And then you have one in Newton Center.
That was the first one,
Okay.
Newton Corner.
Newton Corner, okay.
A really small one that we started with, kind of to get my feet wet in the restaurant business.
Right.
We started there, then we did a partnership with the Lions Group, then we went out and purchased a building and did one in Sudbury.
Right. Nice neighborhood.
Yeah. Little off the beaten path, nowhere near as much traffic as Chelmsford.
Okay.
So we've kind of migrated to a bigger market here than we're used to. It's minus Fenway.
Okay. And you bought the old Friendlies.
Yeah,
right?
I leased it.
You leased it.
I leased it. I did a 25-year lease on it.
Wow.
So I'm here for a while.
You're here for a while. That's
Yeah,
for
you guys
sure.
aren't going to lose me anytime soon.
Yeah, okay, good. That's good. So, great location. Everybody sees the sign going by. It's across the street from the public library in Chelmsford. Parking, no problem.
Ample parking. That's one of the big draws of the lot for me, and to do the spot was the parking, because in Sudbury I don't have that much. We fill up right away and it deters people. Here I saw the parking lot and was like, wow, we can fit
And it was a
100.
standalone building.
That's what I'm trying to do. Only standalone buildings is what I'm trying to do.
I see. You don't want it in the mall or anything like that, in the mall concept.
I feel that everywhere I've gone so far, I've become part of the town. I grew up in Newton, so that one was easy. Sudbury, we're a standalone building, and you become part of the community. When you get into the strip mall or lifestyle mall, you kind of lose that town appeal. And,
Right, good point.
I don't really want to do that. I'd like to stay active in the communities that I go into and be part of it, rather than just be,
Okay.
A restaurant in the mall.
Okay, good for you. So things are working out right now. Everybody's coming in. I went there last night to pick up some pizza. place was packed.
It's crowded.
We have a telephone number that people can order.
Yep.
And we're going to put it up and have people do that.
We're doing the best we can with takeout. It's been so overwhelming that sometimes we want to service the people and give the people that come in the best experience they can, so we're not able to do takeout all the time.
Yeah.
But as soon as we free up some of the orders, we jump back on the takeout. So we're doing as much of it as we can right now until we get a rhythm and the kitchen gets a rhythm and everything starts working, and then we get to a point where we can accommodate all of them.
Well, when I called in, I'll tell you, because I'm going through the procedure. When I called in, the young lady told me that, I said, how long? She said 10, 15 minutes. I had to jump in my car right away and drive across town.
Jump in if we say 10, 15, get there as quick as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we could say an hour in the next, and 15 minutes from that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty fast. I mean, for a pizza and stuff like that.
Yeah, so.
And I think I stood there, I looked in, and the place was packed, and they walked in, and I was talking to this young lady, and we were telling her that's a patio, and this is the chairs on the side and so forth. So you're gonna have you have a patio there.
We have a patio outside, and then we have an indoor-outdoor bar that's usable all year round, heated. So we kind of have a patio and then a kind of a PDR indoor-outdoor bar.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's something new that we came up with, and it seems people like it. You could get to see pretty much just staring at the whole restaurant, and two big TVs on the other side.
I like it. I like it. You have big windows.
Yeah.
And it's airy and it's open and
Yep. We try to keep a nice open concept. We're working on getting some sound deadening on the ceilings to quiet it down a little bit. We'll work on that in the next couple of weeks. So we're still piecing it together as we go here, as needed.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So you grew up in Newton. You went to Newton North High School.
Correct.
And you're in the pizza business. What did your mother tell you? What would your mother want you to be when you got out of high school or go to college, or she wanted you to go to college? And
They wanted me to go to college, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But
I knew that.
Based on my
if
high
you
school,
lived at Newton, they wanted you to go to college.
Based on my high school performance, I knew college wasn't for me.
Okay.
And I knew that from an early age that I really didn't want to work for anybody. So I took a path, whatever path was necessary, not to be employed, to be an employer.
Okay. But you did motocross for how many years? That's when I looked at your profile, and you said both you and your brother did motocross?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we started racing dirt bikes at probably 8 or 9, 10 years old.
Oh, is that right?
Really young. Went up through the ranks, and then just tried to live the dream. I tell people I was a professional motocross rider. I could do well in the New England circuit. On a national circuit, I was just your average guy. I'm not any superstar or anything like that. It was more like living the dream.
Yeah.
I love to do it. I love everything about it.
How many injuries did you have? How many bones did you break?
Somewhere over 20 bones, probably over 14 surgeries.
No kidding.
But I still go back. I've been on a bicycle. I've been racing a bicycle. I stopped racing. I woke up one day, probably in 2013, and said, I'm done.
Motocross.
Okay. And I took 5 years off. It was the first time I hadn't been on a bike for more than an injury, and since I was 8 years old.
No kidding. I could see you driving from Littleton to Chelmsford with your bike.
We used to have a ton of tracks out around here, and like the old Gillette. There used to be one in Billerica. Those days are long gone. There's only kidding. Probably.
Tell me about the motocross in New England, because I'm not really familiar with it that much, because in the 80s and 90s it was big around here.
It was huge. You'd show up in an event in the 80s and 90s, and there'd be 2,000 spectators. There'd be qualifiers just to get into the race, and I mean, the sport was obviously a lot bigger. Believe it or not, we had a motocross track in Newton run by the town, if you can believe that. So.
Wow.
We had the Parks and Recreation of Newton ran a motocross track in the 80s. It closed down in 70s and 80s. It probably closed down in 88 or 89. So it was it was a much more mainstream sport back then than it is now.
Yeah.
Now it's more, there's so few places to do it that makes it hard, and it's a huge commitment for parents to drive all over the place to have their kid ride. And
Well, they do that for hockey and other sports, you know. I mean, rugby.
it is
you know,
everything.
I mean,
Everything's bigger now. I tell everybody I lived the best era of motocross in the 80s and 90s. Now, it's so competitive with young kids, just like any sport.
Right.
I was a really good mini cycle rider, but today, compared to today's kids, they're just so far advanced from where I ever
kidding.
was. I mean, people say, you know what, the '86 Boston Celtics team could be. The people are, and the athletes are so much better now than we were back then. It's not even a comparison.
they're all pumped up. I mean, yeah.
That's not even that. It's just a technique that has evolved, that people
I
have
see.
evolved in any sport.
I see.
Motocross is my sport, so I can tell you the technique of riding a dirt bike has evolved over time, where it's just a lot. The people are better at it. It's just the way it is.
Oh, okay. I like to, move on. So your mother's okay with pizza?
She loves it. Yeah,
loves
my mother. I told you before this show that I did the car business for a long time.
Okay.
And the way that the internet took over that business with everything, I was a broker for 25 years, so I didn't really sell cars to the public. I just shipped cars. But the way the internet took over and everything was online was forcing me out.
Okay.
And I had to find something else. And I went to Florida one day and I ate my first coal-fired pizza, and I called my brother and I said, "We got to do this." And that's where the dream started for pizza.
No kidding.
Yeah.
In Florida.
In Florida.
Usually they don't have good pizza there.
They had good pizza there. They
Did
really
they?
did. It was good. And I
Probably
went,
some guy from up north or something like that, you know?
it was a local chain down there, and
Okay.
I went to the original one, and it was really good. And I said, we don't have any of this up north. I should really try to bring this up there. And then we started the pizza venture. We didn't know anything about the restaurant business.
Yeah. That's pretty heavy because usually people know the restaurant business. It's a tough business.
We took a slow venture into it, though.
Okay.
I bought the oven that we wanted to use, a coal-fired oven, and we
Right.
put it on a trailer.
Right.
And we kind of did some catering events with no name or anything like that, and perfected the craft of making pizza
I see.
and our recipes and everything. So it took about 3 years to get it down. Then we opened up the tiny little spot in Newton. So we didn't jump right into it. It was a really slow progression.
Yeah. Usually from the truck to the restaurant, you know?
Exactly.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. So we have a place now in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Make sure you go there. Don't rush there because it might be overwhelming. Toddlers can't go there. It's not like
We have toddler seats. If you go there, it gets busy. You might have a wait. We're as kid-friendly as we possibly can be, and we'll make it work, whatever. If you come some of the off hours, it's a lot easier for us to accommodate toddlers than it is, let's say, Friday night at 6 o'clock.
Right.
But we do the best we can with it. And if especially kids, I tell people, make sure I try to emphasize to my hostess and servers and everybody that if you have kids, our pizzas are cooked well done. There's some char on them. That's coal-fired.
Right.
We can do them without char, but all you have to do is ask for lightly cooked.
Right.
And then we can make a more kid-friendly style pizza.
Right. Okay. What about birthday parties, etc.? Can you flex that or?
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
I mean, if you come off hours, like I said, if you want to do a birthday party on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock,
okay.
we should be fine with that.
Oh, okay, good. I mean, people want to know.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't take reservations right now.
Okay.
It's first come, first serve. That's the way I've done everything.
Do you think you might do reservations?
I don't think so. I like being able to be flexible, and when you come in, for me, going to a restaurant and seeing 5 empty seats and them say, well, they're reserved, and I'm like, well, there's no one at them now.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to seat the people that come in.
Good point.
And go that way
Yeah,
than
good point.
have somebody look at an empty seat.
Any other plans for other restaurants in regards to friendlies since they're
I'm
bankruptcy?
actively working on trying to purchase or lease some other sites that Friendly's has that are no longer in business. They have some great real estate.
No doubt.
Great real estate.
Yeah, no doubt. Standalone too. most of
Between them
them?
and Papagino's, they have some. unbelievable real estate.
They're all standalone wherever they are.
They're not all, but all the ones I'm looking at, most of them, I'd say, except the newer Friendlies, all of them are standalone. Up until maybe the mid-2000s, they started doing a couple non-standalones.
Okay.
But the locations are great. The concept was great for 50 years. It's just run its time now. So if anybody from Friendlies is watching, call me.
So, anything you're looking at? Any specific towns you want to mention?
I'm very interested in Stoneham,
All right.
Manchester, New Hampshire.
All right.
Those are the two that I would really like to try to work.
Okay.
And then there's a couple other ones that are a little farther outside right now than I'm thinking of. I mean, I looked at Waltham. There's one in North Waltham. I'd like to pursue that one, but it comes on, it comes off, it comes on, so I don't know where it stands yet. I don't think that one's owned by corporate. I think that's privately owned.
Oh, I see.
I'm still trying to get to the bottom of them. I'm hoping when people see what I did with this Friendlies,
Right.
that some of the landlords will have an interest in converting their Friendlies to what we do.
So your pizza's fresh, everything's fresh. Salads, you have salads there.
Yep.
You have bar. There's a little bar there.
We have
right?
we have 25 seats at the bar, and
What's the capacity of the restaurant?
99
99.
Yep.
Okay. So you have 25 at the
at the bar, including the indoor-outdoor bar.
Okay.
So we have about I think 17 inside and maybe 8 outside, somewhere around there.
Okay. So it works with young kids and having
Yep.
the bar and so forth.
Oh yeah, for the dining areas to the left a little bit.
Okay,
The
yeah.
high tops are more the bar area.
Okay.
So most of the kids sit in the booths to the left of the low tops.
That's what I'm concerned about. So, a 15-inch pizza, how much roughly average price, so people will know? It's not like you're ordering pizza from other places. It's a little more high end.
Right, exactly. I mean, we cut our own vegetables, roast everything in-house, the peppers, the mushrooms, everything's in-house. We don't buy any pre-canned vegetables.
Wow, good to know.
Yeah, everything's fresh. So they range from your cheeses, somewhere around 15. We don't have anything unless you build a crazy one that gets over like 1950 or something like that. So it's somewhere between 15 and 19 unless you go crazy and get a pizza with all the toppings in the world on it the way you want it. But
Right.
that's how we designed the whole menu pretty much around being a scratch kitchen, where if you want something, if you want nachos with this, and this, we'll build it. That's what we're there for. If you see something on the menu and you want this topping on it or this, we'll do
I think what you should do is go online and see what the menu is and see what the toppings are, so you'll know what you want when you go there instead of looking at the menu.
It's always better to have an idea of which way you're going to go.
Exactly. And also, I want you to also have a takeout menu, because when I asked for a takeout menu there, they didn't have
So
it.
we're working on the takeout menu
Okay.
now. It's that Chelmsford's such a busy area, I wanted to expand the menu to include a few things that aren't on there right now that
okay.
I'm working on. I just don't. Since we're a scratch kitchen, like we'll make our own burger. We're going to do sliders, but we're trying to perfect it to where we get it to where we want it. So to print a menu now,
Okay.
we wouldn't have everything on it.
Good.
I'd be reprinting it next week. So
All right,
I'd rather wait one more week and have people be like, "Come on, get the menu," and then have it complete.
No, I mean, I understand that. I mean, it's just one of those things that, I asked and they didn't have it. And,
Exactly. We're trying to.
It's all new. I mean, it's
New to
the
us,
first
too.
month. Yeah, it's good. It's a good town. People are very nice here.
Friendliest town I've ever been in.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Are you talking about the town administration or all the way?
From the town administration all the way to the people when I go to Fishbones, sitting at the bar talking to me, the town is unbelievable. If you asked me that 10 years ago, I would have had no idea and said, I don't really know much about Chelmsford, but now I can say it's one of the friendliest towns I've been all over the country racing dirt bikes, and this is one of the friendliest towns I've ever been to.
No kidding.
Yep.
All right, that's good. We'll have to incorporate that in.
It should be in your slogan somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
The friendliest town in America.
That's good. We were at one time the top 100 in what magazine was it? Forbes, the top.
Really?
The top 100 towns in America, and this is going back 10 years. But I think they got rid of that top 100. But you can use it in your logo.
Maybe we can bring it back now.
Hopefully, yeah, definitely. So It's 99 capacity. You're not taking reservations, so just come and see what it's like. And if you like it, stay.
You're welcome to stay all day. We don't force people out. It's a really relaxed environment.
What are your hours now?
We're going to be doing Monday to Thursday, 11:30 to 9. Friday and Saturday, 11:30 to 10.
Okay.
And Sunday, 12 to 8.
12 to 8, okay.
Yep.
I'm just thinking in regards to when the football games are on Chelmsford, and that's a big thing in regards to football. And you talk to Dr. Parks in regards to rugby, so there might be something there between the rugby team and.
Yeah, we're not going to stay open super late. Our clientele is people come to us for the food.
Yeah.
We have a full liquor license, 16 drafts, so we offer that. But the experience is really in the food and in the atmosphere. So we're more in the lines of Fishbones hours, where we stay open as late as we think that our clientele want to come there. If the town demands more, we'll stay open later. But that's based on
I don't think
you guys.
the town will demand more.
I don't either.
Because people are working.
Right,
and
exactly.
It's just one of those things. Unless you want to open it up another hour or so.
Right. It could happen on the weekends, Friday and Saturday, maybe 11. But for right now, until we see that, my staff gets out at 10. By then, they're cooked anyways from making 350 pizzas that day.
Are you still hiring?
We're still hiring kitchen help at this time. I think
help.
we're full on the front of the house. The back of the house, we still need some help, definitely.
Oh, okay. Definitely.
We can teach you a craft that you can take anywhere. Learning how to be a high-end pizza cook it's a craft. It really is. I mean, we can't teach you in a day.
Right.
To get on the oven, it'll take us months. But once you got it, you could, anywhere in the country, you could go and say, I have coal-fired pizza experience, and you'd have a job in 5 minutes.
No kidding,
yeah.
Right. Maybe I'll think about it.
There you go. Maybe on the oven.
Like I said, the average pizza is about $15.
Yeah, between 15 and 19.
Oh, how do you get into the gray paint when you see the building? It's gray.
We did that in Sudbury.
Okay.
It's a personal thing. I just don't like brick. So we hemmed and hawed about it, and
did the town approve it? No problem?
The town approved it, no problem. Same with Sudbury. I mean, I think it appears like I don't know. I think everybody's going to go to painted brick soon. That's my opinion, except some of the older towns. But it's kind of, so we did it with Sudbury, and it's a look that I loved, and we wanted to keep it here.
That's important.
So we wanted them to all look similar, so we painted the building gray.
When do you think you'll open the patio?
Well, we invested in an air curtain, so as soon as it's warm enough to open it, it'll be open.
Okay. What's an air curtain?
It's something that goes above the window and has a downdraft to keep bugs from flying in, and actually keeps cold air from flying in. So we can, and it's heated, so we can actually, if it's 65 degrees out, we turn the air curtain on. We can still open up and have that nice indoor-outdoor feel. Not sure you'll be sitting on the patio, but the feel will be there.
Oh, okay. Will I hear the traffic or see the traffic?
It might be part of the ambiance. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. There's no way I can stop that unless I can put a detour sign.
I like to block the traffic.
Yeah.
4th
of July, I heard they block the traffic and have a parade, so it'll be blocked.
Are you going to be open up 4th of July?
Absolutely.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
We feel
because the parade ends in that area.
Oh, right, exactly.
Yeah.
We feel we have to service the town on that day. It would be, I think we should service the town on the day for food that they're all out.
Believe me, when you we have the mother of all parades here.
I've heard.
It's like 2 hours.
I've heard that.
We're
excited for it.
We're a very patriotic town, not like some of these towns in the area are Tory towns.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, it's.
We'll have to get a pizza with red, white, and blue drizzle.
And also, you could also have a tent in town square. They have like a carnival type of thing before July 3rd, the night of July 3rd. And that's a big deal. No one leaves the town on the 4th of July because they're very patriotic.
I'm from towns where nobody's here on the 4th of July. Everybody's in the cave.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because it was hard for me to adjust to be here for 4th of July. But
it'll be a new experience for me too.
Yeah, everything revolves. And a lot of these bands come from Canada. You'll be surprised. Minimus, electric, I mean, it's really
by by the 4th, I'll be at Chumley. I heard the Chumleys are local.